Welcome to GCSA TV Virtual Live, presented in partnership with Ryan Steiner, one of our GCSA TV live sponsors of the 2021 Virtual Golf Industry Show. I'm joined by Samuel Williamson, the National Sales Manager for Golf and Turf for Doosan. The title of this segment is Slope-Mowing Tips with Steiner. Samuel, welcome. If you don't mind, first start off with the recent acquisition of Bobcat. How's that going? How did it go?
Well, Darren, it's been going great. Thank you for having us on today. We're very excited, to say the least. Doosan really came in, Bobcat really came in and invested their time, efforts, research, everything into our brands to make a better product, take our product from where it was to the next level, so that we can really help our customers out. We're very excited for what's to come and happy to the new owners and looking forward to what's next.
So you got a lot of different brands, a lot of different products, but today we're going to talk about the Steiner and slope mowing. So explain what makes the Steiner unique compared to most solid frame tractors.
So Steiner has, what some reference as a active frame. So we have both oscillation and articulation in our machines. So that allows us to turn in the middle of our machine, and then it allows us all of our axles to lift up and down about 9 inches. So we're traveling over all types of different terrain. But doing that allows us to be very maneuverable at a very low center of gravity. So a Steiner's 1,600 and some odd pounds, but we are able to put that about 5 inches off the ground. And when you're that close to the ground with 8 tires and center articulation, we can really hug the ground like we want it to, so that your operator's safe and you can mow those slopes that may have called for a weed eater or fly mowing or something like that before.
Right. So I've, Samuel, I don't my background, but I worked at Loxahatchee Club over in Jupiter, Florida, and we had a Steiner for the mounds that Jack Nicklaus created at that golf course. So I have used it. So it brings back memories talking to you. So I know the stability is certainly an advantage and hugging mounds. What are other advantages?
So it's hugging mounds is great, but you get into your bunker slopes, you get into your areas of your OB areas that still need maintaining. I mean, the on and off the course, whether I'm playing and I'm more OB than where I'm supposed to be in the fairway, I like it when they maintain those well. So your native areas, thick grasses, even you're able to put a stump grinder on the front of our machine and take down stumps that are on slopes and things of that nature. So the versatility is really limitless when you dial up everything that we can do with that machine, including having putting the 8 tires on it, putting it on a slope, helps us in soggy, wet conditions as well. I know we can't beat Mother Nature, it seems like. So anytime we can get out there and mow, even in soupy conditions, it can help some superintendents and courses out from that standpoint. So we like to see a need, fill a need, and I think we can do that.
So it's interesting. I always thought of it, primarily as a slope mower and undulating turf, but it sounds like it has a lot more advantages in other areas as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So first and foremost, with the 8 tire setup, slope is what most people think about when they think Steiner. And we do it great, from foot pegs to help you sit in the seat, hydraulic weight transfer, all of that jazz. We can help you hold that slope. But after those slopes are mown, we don't like to let the machine sit idle. We can put a trencher on it, we can put a stump grinder on it, and go to if you've got a marsh area, you've got a pond you need to maintain, those type areas. Since everything's out front, it allows us to mow or put any attachment closer to a hazard, such as a lake, a stream, a bunker, something like that, without putting our machine or our operator in any kind of danger. So what we do a great job of is one of our rough cut mowers at a pond, mowing cattails, mowing brush along the pond, things like that, where we've got it sticks out roughly 3 feet in front of the machine. and we can reach out over that while keeping our mower on the bank. So yes, it's great at slopes, and we will never deny that. We love putting our tractors on slopes, but that's not always the first and foremost operation of it. You can do a lot with it that you learn the more you use them.
So it's been many years, probably, well, it's been over 30 since I've used them, but if I remember right, does it have a handheld control or a foot control?
So with the new 450 that came out in 2017, we put a foot control standard on it. Reason we did that is our hand controls actually operate our front attachment. So we've got two levers. You can have up to four if you put a rear 3-point hitch on it. But that foot control allows you to operate forward and backwards, and then your hands can operate whatever attachment. So instead of having to worry about going forward with your hands and lifting and lowering attachments, now that we've integrated that foot pedal, we can travel forward and reverse and make sure our attachment is exactly where we want it to be.
Great. So you talked about attachments, and I know you've got quite a few. You rolled off quite a few attachments. Starting with the flex deck mower, how does that operate? What's that best use of that particular attachment?
So the flex deck is our fine turf mower. It is a very heavy duty deck. We partnered with Lastech on that deck. And it's 80 inches wide or 80 inches width of cut, 4 different blades, 4 different individual decks, all of which that have travel. So we call it the flex deck because it articulates. It flexes at 4 different hinge points, so that you're maintaining your rough areas and your fine turf on golf courses, sports fields, whatever it may be. We can really hone it in, have a good quality of cut over your undulations, your Jack Nicklaus mounds. We can handle those and avoid scalping, avoid anything like that. So it's one of our most popular attachments as well, especially in the golf world, with guys that are having to deal with undulations day in and day out, covering bunker faces, near ponds, where the rough runs all the way out to the pond. We actually designed the deck, or in partnership with Lastech, we designed the deck so that the left-hand side of it, we have an overhang. And depending on your tire setup, you could have 8 inches up to 11 inches of overhang on that side, and that's 11 inches. You can get closer to a hazard without your tires ever touching it. So it allows your operator to, again, be very safe, but still get closer and cut out some weed eating or anything like that, string trimming that you may have to do.
Awesome. Are there other mowing decks out front as well?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've got finished decks. We've got the rough cut deck. The finished deck comes in all different sizes. It's got a roller on the back, so if you're big on striping, we can put a good stripe down for you. But all kinds of options, and we always got some fun stuff in the works.
Yeah, awesome. One of my peers has one down the road, and I thought I saw a blower attachment on it as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we've got a turbine blower option, which in the turf world has just gotten more and more popular. That they have really taken off with 150 mile per hour wind speeds coming out of something, or 105 mile per hour wind speeds coming out of something the size of a basketball hoop. So when it comes to moving leaves, blowing cores after aeration, things like that, there's a lot you can do with them. But we did integrate one to the front of our tractor, where you can operate everything from spinning the chute to the throttle, how much air you're moving, all from the operator platform.
Great.
That's a great addition.
I don't have snow down here, but I have visited friends up in Wisconsin, such as my friends at Epic, and I believe you have a snow blowing attachment for it as well, don't you?
We do. We have a couple. We've got one that's more commercial based. It's our professional snow blower. You can get it with kits such as drift cutters, electric chute deflector, things of that nature. And that allows us to, for 8 hours a day, 7 days a week operation. Then at the same time, we've got a more residential model that it doesn't have all the bells and whistles that you need day in and day out. But if you need to clear a few driveways, the sidewalk in front of your house, it's going to do it in a short time. So we have those, and you also have all your brooms, your blades, scoops, things of that nature to move snow around too. So This time of year, I'm a southern guy, so we don't get much snow either. But this time of year, our friends up north are definitely battling the snow and putting that full heated cab on and cutting the lights on, cutting the heat on, and running your blade outside where you're cleaning snow, but you're still comfortable. Has certainly been a fan favorite, especially with these storms that have hit the Northeast recently.
Great. So, are they easy to operate? I mean, if I haven't been on a piece of equipment for a year or two, is it going to be something I can figure out pretty quick?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you've ridden any kind of lawnmower with a throttle control and a steering wheel, you can pretty well figure out a Steiner. It's pretty simple to operate. We've got two foot pedals, one's forward, one's reverse, a steering wheel for turning. The only odd thing is most people are used to turning and the front tires turning, but instead the center of the tractor articulates from left to right to turn. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but knowing how to operate a throttle, pull a PTO clutch, things of that nature, it's pretty easy and simple to operate.
Well, that's awesome. And I believe that you learn something every day. And having ridden on these machines 30 years ago, and for them to still be in place with all these different attachments, it's been fascinating. So, Samuel, I thank you for your time. I thank Ryan and Steiner for the partnership, and thank you, the audience, for being and listening. So, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us, and we're looking forward to a good 2021.